He's trying to eat the tripod handle, the lever. Don't pull that over. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming Noah's 6-month baby update. He turned 6 months on the 26th of August, so I thought I would film quickly his 6-month baby update. I don't have him with me at the minute because he is upstairs having a nap, but I thought I would just sit down while he is having a nap and take the time to update you guys on Noah. So yeah, as I said, he turned 6 months on the 26th of August, so a few weeks ago, and a lot has happened since he did turn 6 months already. I have some points written down on my phone. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but if I keep looking down, that is why. So I'm just going to start with the first one and go down. So we noticed yesterday that he's actually starting to cut his first tooth. I felt it yesterday morning. I felt his gums because he's been drooling and having red cheeks for quite a while, for nearly like a month and a half maybe, but nothing has come through yet. But yesterday morning I felt, and it was quite hard, and then when Rob got home from work we felt it again. So this was about 6 o'clock and we could feel something really hard on the bottom of his gum, and I took a quick look and there was a little white bit, so he'd actually started to cut it. It's not like fully comes through, but it's like pressing right up against the gum, so any day now it will probably cut. And yeah, so that's come through. That's on the bottom left side, so we're very excited about that. I feel like that's such a huge milestone for him, to cut his first tooth. He doesn't seem too bothered by it, although last night and this morning he has been a bit grumpy and he's been a lot sleepier than normal. But he hasn't got any like red cheeks, hasn't got a temperature, nothing like that. I did give him some Calpol, and that's all I've been using since this morning. I didn't give him anything yesterday, but then this morning I gave him some Calpol, like the one in the syringe, the one designed for babies and like little kids. And he took that quite well. He normally takes his Calpol quite well when we give it to him if he's not very well, or after his injections and stuff. Yeah, like he hasn't been too bad. He hasn't been too fussy or anything like that, so that's really good. He's in size 6 to 9 months clothing. He's been in that for a few weeks now. He can still sort of fit into like 3 to 6 months tops, depending on where they're from, but for the majority of his clothes now I'm buying 6 to 9 months, so like jeans, tracky bottoms, sleep suits, vests, that sort of stuff, because the vests are getting a little bit like tight on him, like the 3 to 6 months ones, so I'm trying to like work them out until they not like literally no longer fit him anymore, and then we're moving on to 6 to 9 months. But he's in the number 3 nappies. We use Pampers nappies, and he is in number 3. He still fits into number 2, but they are getting like a little bit tight around like his hip area where you like tighten them. So we moved up to number 3 the other day, and they are a lot bigger, and he's got a lot more room to like stretch and move around in them. He is starting to show interest in crawling. He's not actually crawling yet, but he goes up on all fours and he tries his hardest to move, but he can't really get it going. He's learned how to like get up on all fours, and he can kind of move like his legs like on his knees, but he hasn't learnt to move his arms yet. So like when he moves his knees, he kind of just falls over because his arms are still rigid and they're still where he put them. He has commando crawled a little bit, but like it's only like a spur of the moment thing. It's not something that he does all the time, so he just sometimes he like the worm kind of thing, so he'll go on up on all fours, and then he'll like let his arms flop so his bum's still like in the air, and then he'll move his like knees in and go like that along the floor. So he is kind of getting to moving, but he's not like fully crawling yet. He still doesn't know how to sit up unaided. He'll sit next to us on the settee, or he'll sit in his high chair, so he knows like how to sit, but he doesn't know how to sit unaided yet. And when I try and like sit him down, he doesn't sit with his legs like out in a V. He'll bring like one in so he sort of faces one way, and then he'll just like flop. He can sit like unaided a little bit with his arms like on the floor, and he'll sit there for a few seconds, but he doesn't sit with his arms up like straight back or anything, and he doesn't really show any interest in doing that. I'm hoping he'll do that fairly soon, because it would be nice for me to sit on the floor with him, sitting there, and play with his toys and stuff, and not have to have someone holding him or something supporting him all the time. But whenever I try and sit him down, he just like kind of arches his back and straightens his legs, and he just doesn't really want to sit down that much, to be honest. But he does love being on his feet. I found this like ever since he was about 3 or 4 months. He loves standing up, he loves bouncing, and he even takes a few steps, not like proper steps, but he'll like shuffle his feet forward to move, and you obviously go with him. So I feel like that's probably why he doesn't really want to sit down, because he just loves being on his feet so much, which isn't a problem. But I mean, like I said, it would be nice for him to be able to sit unaided, and we could just like sit him on the bed and know that he'll sit there, or sit on the floor with him and play with his toys. But he is getting there, I think. Just depends what kind of mood he's in, really. He's rolling brilliantly. At first he rolled back to front and didn't really know how to roll front to back, but now he rolls back to front, front to back, rolls twice, 3 times. He just keeps rolling all the time, so you literally cannot take your eyes off him for like 2 seconds unless he is on the floor and there's like an area where he can't reach anything or can't hit his head on anything. In terms of like toys and stuff, things that he's loving his jumperoo. My dad bought him a jumperoo for his christening that we had on Sunday, and he loves it so much. He just loves being on his feet and playing with the toys. Although last night and this morning he didn't really want to be in it, and I think that's to do with his teeth, and he doesn't really want to be put down unless he's sleeping. He kind of just wants to be near someone. Other than that, he is loving his jumperoo. In terms of sleeping, he is in his own room now. He is in his big boy cot. He has been in that since he was about 5 months old, and I thought that he wouldn't really like it, to be honest, because he's always really liked to be near to someone. When he was first born, he wouldn't sleep unless he was on my chest or Rob's chest, and then he went through a stage of just sleeping with me, and he wouldn't sleep anywhere. You couldn't put him down for 2 seconds without him crying. Like, he could be in the deepest sleep possible and he would know that you've put him down and wake up and cry instantly. And then we managed to get him to sleep in his Moses basket, but he wouldn't actually fall asleep unless you were holding his hand or stroking his head, something like that, just so that he knew that you were there. So I thought that he wouldn't really take to being in his cot that well. But as towards the end of like when he was in his Moses basket / crib, he was around getting to like 5.5 months, something like that, and he was getting too long for his Moses basket, and he was waking himself up in his crib, because he does sleep with a dummy. That's how we get him to sleep. He does love his dummy, it's his comfort. I mean, he can fall asleep without his dummy, but when he's like refusing to go to sleep and he's being a little bugger and just not wanting to sleep, we give him his dummy, and it's just a comfort thing for him, and he normally falls asleep fairly quickly once he's got that. But I was finding that he was starting to roll onto his side to sleep, or and when he was in his crib, he'd roll on his side and the dummy would fall out and fall down the sides, because we didn't have a bumper for it, and it was waking him up. We kept him in that for a little bit, and I would just get up and put his dummy back in, But then I wasn't getting much sleep. I'd gone back to not sleeping very much because he was in there and kept waking up. So it wasn't really working for me. And then he started to show interest in sleeping on his front, which is what he does now. And there just wasn't enough room for him to turn in his crib. So we decided to put him in his big cot, and there is so much room in there for him to turn and roll. He loves being in there. We've just got like a breathable, like a mesh bumper around the sides, so he can still breathe up against it, but his dummy doesn't fall out. So if he does wake up during the night, he can just put the dummy back in himself, which is what he tends to do now. And he's loving being in there. He normally sleeps from about 10:30 till about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So he will go pretty much all night most of the time. Sometimes he will wake up about 4 o'clock and then he won't go back to sleep in his cot, but I will bring him into the bed and he will fall asleep in there. He did go through a stage of sleeping with us every night for a week because he had a cold and he just wouldn't settle unless he was like near me or Rob, and he was finding it quite difficult to breathe because his nose was getting blocked. So he would wake up coughing or wake up sneezing, so he just wasn't sleeping, and in the end we just decided to put him in bed with us. He sleeps in just a vest, nappy and a vest, usually because his room is quite warm. So 9 times out of 10, while it's still like fairly warm during the day, we open the window at night time just a tiny little bit and put the blind down. So he will just sleep in a vest. The room is normally about 20 degrees. Excuse me. Sometimes if it's colder or if he feels cold, I will put him in a sleep suit and he will sleep in that, or I've just bought him like a pyjama set from Tesco and he has been sleeping in that, but we don't put a vest underneath the pyjamas. We will put a vest under the sleep suit, but not under the pyjamas if he's wearing them. He has recently wanted to start sleeping with a blanket, so normally if he doesn't sleep during the day or he is very tired but he refuses to go to sleep, I'll put him in his cot with his dummy. He'll turn on his side and I'll just like lay a blanket. So if he's facing like this way, I'll put a blanket like here, so he can cuddle into that and he will fall asleep. But obviously I have the monitor on and I will watch him throughout the monitor, and if I can see that it's too close to his face or it's covered his face, I will go up and take it away from him. He doesn't have that at night time. He will just fall asleep as he is, but again, if I'm finding that he's refusing to go to sleep, I will give it to him and then take it away when he's asleep, and then I will get into bed and go to sleep, so I know that the blanket is not in his cot loose with him. So we decided to start weaning Noah at 5 months. The government recommends you start weaning them at 6 months, but we decided to start weaning him at 5 months because he was showing a lot of interest in what we were having. At dinner times he would just stare at us eating, like he would follow the fork from the plate to our mouths and back again and just sit and follow it. He would try and grab the food. He was just showing a lot of interest in what we were doing. We started giving him something around dinner time, just a tiny bit, and I think we started out with the Ella's Kitchen range, from the ones from 4 months, so just like the vegetables, the peas, the carrots, the fruit, that sort of stuff. So I think the first one he ever had was pureed carrot from the Ella's Kitchen range, and obviously when they first start that sort of food, it's just the textures and the tiny bit of taste, but I think it's mainly the textures that they are trying to like grasp, because obviously it is a puree. It's not super smooth, but it's not lumpy either, but obviously it's a different texture. Is he waking up? Let me see. Yes, he is. Let me just go and sort him. Okay, have a baby now. He decided to wake up. Yeah. So, well, I can't even remember what I was saying. So yeah, he first tried carrot and he seemed to really enjoy that, and then we've just moved on from that. Now he is 6 months, he's having a lot more that was a dummy. He's having a lot more of the Ella's Kitchen range. Can we just take a minute to and he does this every time I talk. So he's having a lot more of the Ella's Kitchen range. He is also having some of the Cowgate jars that he really enjoys. His favourite Ella's Kitchen pouch is the cauliflower cheese. He really enjoys that. We are giving him some of the Heinz juices now, like the water with the hint of the fruit. And he really enjoys them as well. Doesn't like them too much when they're like cold and they come fresh out the fridge, because obviously that's really cold. But he does enjoy drinking them. Anyway, as you can see, he's very nosy, very investigative. Is that a word? He's very nosy, let's just say. He loves looking at like himself in the mirror, loves my phone at the minute, anybody's phone, like when it lights up, he loves. I'm not sure of Noah's weight because we haven't actually seen a health visitor since he was like 2 months old. I thought they were, well, I got told they were supposed to come at 4 months, but we haven't seen or heard from anyone yet, so I'm not sure how much he weighs, but he is fairly heavy, I would say. He's tall. He always has been a tall baby. He's trying to get my phone. Even when he was born, he was quite long, and he still is quite long. What else? We have been using his big boy seat in his pram rather than his carry cot since 5 months, because he has been quite a long baby since he was born. He had pretty much outgrown his carry cot and his Moses basket by like 5 months, 5.5 months. So we had to move up to the big seat because there was physically no room in his carry cot. You can't have that in his carry cot anyway. He looks really ginger in this camera, but he's not. He's very blonde. I think it's because of the light. And the pram we have got is the Silver Cross Pioneer, the Eton Grey Special Edition. It's a lovely pram, and again, if you guys want me to do a review on that, I can't really do an unboxing because we've had it for a long time. But if you guys want me to do a review on that pram, I will do. And we also use the matching Silver Cross car seat with it. Hi. And yeah, if you guys want me to do a review on the pram and the car seat, or one or the other, please let me know and I will do that, and that's not a problem. I think this is the last point but that I've gotten written down, but overall he's such a happy baby. We have been so lucky with him. He doesn't really cry unless he's like really tired or he's really hungry. Even when like he wakes up in the morning and he wants his bottle, he doesn't cry unless he is like hungry, but even then he doesn't cry. He wakes up with us and smiles at us. He's very talkative. He likes to talk, likes to make noise. He copies you now when like you do a noise, or if you say mama, dada, he does copy mama. He goes mum 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 mum, but he doesn't say dad 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 dad. Yeah, I mean, I try and say it to him, but it doesn't really take any interest, as you can see. Okay. He likes to give kisses, so when you like hold him up to your face, he will like grab your cheeks and pull you in for, I would say, not a proper kiss, but let's just say an open mouthed sloppy touch. But I class it as a kiss. It's very nice. He has also started pulling hair, which is not fun. It hurts. When I say pull hair, he doesn't just hold it, he pulls it, like really pulls it. It does hurt, especially when you've got it up. He like grips onto the sides and will pull it, as you can see. But he is a very loving baby. very happy. Happy to be with anyone. He's not really gone through a clingy stage yet. I could just like give him to my friend or my dad or my mum or anyone, and he will quite happily go to them, and he will sit and smile with them or talk to them, play with them. It's quite nice. Like I said, we haven't had the clingy stage yet, but I feel like with the teething it may be coming fairly shortly. And that's about it. Obviously you can see like his hair is growing. He's still got cradle cap, which is what he's had for quite a while. He's had it since about 2 weeks after he was born. He got it, and he's still got it now. It's nowhere near as bad as what it was, but he definitely still has a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on like the top and front of his head. But yeah, haven't really got anything else to say. I think we've have we said it all now? Is that all of your 6-month update done? Thank you guys for watching Noah's 6-month update. If you would like to see more videos from me, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.